Welcome to our new feature in which we analyze the Bubishi, an Okinawan combat manual collating the history, philosophy, and application of Chinese Kung Fu. This anthology is invaluable to us as practitioners of Kenpo, as it illustrates the practical application for techniques found in kata that are often misinterpreted. In this edition, the subject is the 6 G hands of the Shaolin Style. These hand positions are demonstrated throughout various kata and are as follows: iron bone hand, claw hand, iron sand palm, blood pool hand, sword hand, one blade of grass hand. We will now demonstrate some of our basic applications for the 6 G hand positions. These applications occur following the preemptive stage of the encounter.
Parry the attack. Like Pinan Shodan, we're going to cut across and bring the opponent's head forward. This is to give us access to the jaw, from the mandible all the way down, just to where the moustache is meeting the jaw. We're going to come through iron bone hand and just press that thumb knuckle into the jaw. Then at the same time, twist and drive across. This is going to unhook the jaw and dislocate the mandible, so we're going to push through. Okay, from the grapple, we'll use the claw hand. The easiest way to use this technique is to manoeuvre the opponent off balance first. And then I'm going to sink the fingers forward and in, behind the clavicle. Behind the clavicle we find the nerve, stomach 11. So the thumb is going to press in. That's going to press in near lung 1 on the top extremity of the lungs themselves. And the fingers are going to dive behind the collarbone for a deeper grip this way. So you're not just grabbing the body, you're actually pushing the fingers underneath and behind the collarbone itself to find that nerve plaques. Here. So from the jab, the opponent's attack, we're going to cover up, possibly breaking the knuckles, but really we just want to cover this point. As he throws his hook, we're going to move in and cover the angle of attack. This has opened this section of the body. Before he can strike with this fist, we're going to slap the back of the head. This is going to shake the brain. We're striking the medulla, gallbladder 20. This is going to shake the brain and stop him. It's going to pause him for a second so he can't strike. As this happens, we're going to pull back ikate. Let's pull this back. We're going to drop the sand palm down. We're using the corner bone of the hand. So we're going to drop the sand palm down just onto the corner bone of the nose here. So we'll drop. And this section is going to flatten in. We're going to break across the cartilage, effectively driving the bone down towards the cheekbones. Opponent throwing the jab, this time we're going to wave the jab away. We won't put this in front. This is going to take his mind off hitting me. This is going to give me distance. So when this big hook comes, I can move in, I can break the distance to the hook. Immediately, because this is danger, I want to move outside the attack and start winding this arm. This is going to lift him up onto his toes. I'm underneath that triple burner point here. More importantly, I'm locking the joint of the arm, which is going to push up into the shoulder. As I pull my arm back, just like the kata, as I pull my arm back, this is going to move Craig over, if you can see the way his body's now leaning. At this point, I'm going to bring the blood pool hand down. I'm aiming into this region here. Yeah, in the acupressure charts, you'll see this point called stomach 9. Yeah, it lies just over the carotid artery. I'm going to bring it across, and the bunch fingertips are going to go in and just slightly back before I pull the wrists through here and just back. This is a baroreceptor, so it's controlling the flow of the blood. If this is impacted direct on this nerve, Craig's going to go unconscious. If I drive it straight through with no restraint at all, it could possibly be fatal. So as I lock this through, I'm going to bring this arm across and drive the bunch fingertips down into the side of the neck. Opponent turning me to attack. I'm going to cover up, natural flinch response. Trap. I'm going to take the sword hand. Okay, the sword hand can be used to attack multiple points, and I'm going to drive the sword hand against the side of the jaw. This is going to effectively damage the neck. It can damage the spinal column as well as damaging the jaw. As I drive this across, my body's coming over and my left sword hand is going to drive up to connect with the soft tissue. Where the windpipe, Adam's apple, I'm just striking below. This could be fatal. As this happens, this hand's loaded, we're going to take this sword hand, we're going to turn, we're going to chop down into the clavicle. If you condition this right, this will break bone. This isn't a hard bone to break anyway. So as we cut in and drive through, I'm going to use the same hand, almost in a figure eight motion, to drive across. At this point, I do a strike with the other sword hand and bring the opponent down. The important thing is not to stop here, but to use this in one flowing motion. This sword hand should be used like a sword, so it should be used to slash and cut. It shouldn't use like an axe and just sink into the target. So 1, 2, if necessary, strike again. Opponent sees my lapels. What I don't want to do, I don't want to fight his strength. He's always going to be stronger than me. If he manages to actually grab me, I'm going to struggle to release this. The Bubishi gives the advice that if we're seized and can't escape, we should attack the neck or deeply into the ribs. In this case, I'm going to use single bladed grass hand, the last of the G hands, and I'm going to use it to attack into the neck, as per the advice from the Bubishi itself. The thumb knuckle is what's actually going to fit into the suprasternal notch in the centre of the throat where it meets the clavicle, then the Adam's apple and the windpipe. I'm going to press this straight in. The finger itself has a job. It's going to apply pressure against that baroreceptor nerve, stomach 9. So, because he's physically strong square on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down and pull back. So I'm going to apply complex torque to the arms here. That brings his head forward, and as that jerks forward, that gives me the opening to actually strike using this position into the throat. Because he has a strong grip, what's going to happen is as my hand goes in and presses, he's going to actually grip tighter because he wants to hold on. This is now going to push his shoulders back, and that jerk reaction is actually what's going to release the grip for me. So he's going to break his own grip.
This concludes our short analysis of the 6 G hands of the Shaolin Style, as they pertain to our martial arts. If you like this video, find out more about the Modern Kenpo Karate Association at our website, mkkamartialarts.wix.com/mkka, or search MKKA Martial Arts on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter.